everybody. Oh, wait, it's not morning. It's now noon. Happy afternoon. This is on Monday, the start of the fourth week of this Foundations Intensive. So the fourth and last week of this. People are asking now, what are we going to do after this? So just to give you all a heads up, after the end of this week, we're going to take a week off to regroup. And then we're going to offer another 4-week kind of mini term. I don't have any information about, what's happening in terms of regulations or whether I can have more than, 10 or 12 people in my classes, blah, blah, blah. You all know what I'm talking about. So we'll take a week off, and then I will start Foundations Part 2. So I'm going to keep going with this. You'll see a little bit more range of motion next quarter. We'll start getting into that today. All right, so I know that Babs and Patty and Joanne and Dawn is out there, so thank you for saying hello, good afternoon, and I hope you're enjoying the snow. All right, so we're going to need a block, a bolster, and a strap. So let's come to sitting on our shins. All right. And then, remember that for some people this position is, is quite a bit of a stretch. I sit in this position before we start just to kind of let my quads kind of adjust to it. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you a couple little things to do if this little warm-up here is not enough for your spine, because it's going to get a little more difficult when we start stretching and working. Then there's a tendency to get a little bit more sore. So I have some things to add to that to help that. All right, so just coming into the table again. This is for your wrist. We're getting stronger. So we're just moving those hands back. The fingers are spread wide. Seeing what it's like this morning. Pushing the shoulders forward. This is, kind of my position here. I like this position. This is far enough forward for things. So I'm just doing a little bit of rock, because the purpose of the rock is to find out where your edge is. So go to that edge now, and then just press into your hands. Pull your shoulder blades back. Just say hello to this 90-degree, or possibly, a little bit past that 90-degree angle. Push through your hands, and then feel your fingers kind of pull into the mat. And feel that work through the palms. Couple more breaths. I always find that, Monday, after a couple of days of break, unless you're doing class on Saturday, maybe you need a little extra time here. All right, sitting back, tucking the toes under. I'm just going to move my hands forward. I'm not going to rest them today. You can if you want. I'm just going to tuck under, and I'm going to really push my heels past the balls of my feet, trying to get a little bit more Achilles stretch and maybe soleus stretch. I can feel that on my right leg. And then come up, extend your ankles, turn your your hands the other way. Move them back, bend the elbows, move the knees forward if you need. Press the fingers. I like these symmetrical poses also here, because you can see if you are leaning, twisting, favoring one side or the other. So you need kind of a little time to feel the hands. I have to always spend a little bit more mental energy relaxing into my left hip. Couple more breaths. And then peel that, rotate them a bit, but come forward, tuck the toes again. This time, come to sitting if you can. And remember, you can always just sit with your ankles flat. This really helps my feet both ways. And then back to here. This time come all the way down. So a little bit more spine. So we tuck our tailbone under and use that to pull up. And then fold the pelvis and sit. Pull the tailbone in, let the spine curl. And then reach the tailbone out, feel the undulation, and sit. This is exhale, pull, inhale, sit. Exhale, pull, inhale, sit. Exhale, pull, really feel the tailbone. It's a different kind of engagement than any other words that I'm using. If you really feel the tailbone pull under and then feel the tailbone go back. Tailbone pull under, tailbone reach back. This is exhale to pull in, inhale to sit back. Couple more. Exhale to pull in, inhale to sit back. Exhale to pull in, inhale to sit back. Adding the next part. Exhale to pull in. Tuck your toes, send your hips back, and then press. Down dog. It doesn't have to be a good down dog. We're just adding legs here. Then tuck the tailbone. I can't get a lot of motion in my back. Tuck, let the knees bend, and come down. So we go. Exhale, pull. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull the tailbone. Inhale, sit. Exhale, pull. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, pull. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, pull your tailbone. Inhale, stick your sit bones out, chest forward. Feel the fold. Knees don't have to be straight here. Exhale, pull and sit. Two more. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, press back. Exhale, pull under. Inhale, sit. One more. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, push right back and pull to a curl. Inhale and sit. All the way back. Let your hands go, let your wrists go. Sit, breathe. And then just let that level of movement and circulation affect your parts. Reach the hands forward again. Sitting back, exhale, pull the tailbone up, tuck the toes, inhale, push the sit bones back, stay here, drop your head, feel your fingers, shift your weight to your right leg, press through your heels. So this is just a calf stretch, but what you're also doing is you're pulling that quad up. You're feeling the base of your thumb and index finger, fingers on the ground. You're using the line of force of your arms and sending that back into that right sit bone, which allows the pelvis to flex a little bit more on that right leg. Just a couple more. Keep relaxing your neck. And then change. Feel your fingers. Pull the quad up. Let that hip drop on that right side. Push into that left leg. And release that. Come down and sit again. Relax. So the other thing that you can feel there is, how much openness you have in your armpit at the beginning of class. For some of us, it's not that much. Some of us are just, have a nice open armpit, none of that, there's no restrictions there. So again, going slow like this just allows you to assess what it is that you need to focus on. Why would you want the open armpit? Well, because without that open armpit, you can't get a chest lift. Without a chest lift, you can't get an upper back. Without an upper back, it's easy to fall into that forward head and the big C curve that we're all trying to avoid. All right. So now we're going to do the pelvis lift. And I want you to really feel that tailbone pulling up pretty much into your chest. So we're trying to use our guts to pull it all forward. Going to push off of our legs. Again, this is just building some strength in the arms and allowing the hands to take weight. It's a lot less weight than you'd have on your hands if you were doing a handstand. All right, so first one is just to say hello. So you're going to press down. You're going to tuck your tailbone under, lift up, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come down, sit, breathe. And again, shift forward, pull the knees up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come down, sit, breathe. And again, shift forward, pick it up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come down, sit. This time I think I have to stretch my wrists. Still hard. By the time I get to that last one. This time we'll just start picking up the legs just so that we can feel how to pull that into our hip sockets. This is also a nice preparation for the crane balances. But notice, we have the straight arm. So for those of you out there that really want to practice this for crane balance, just keep pushing yourself forward a little bit, because the crane balance with a straight arm is really quite difficult. All right, last one. Hands down. Pull the knees. Pick it up. And right, left, 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 one more, right, left, and come down. Sit, breathe. Now this time, going into the monkey hand, make a fist, a little bit of weight, sit back, breathe. One more today. So we're going to go from the down dog to the plank and back to down dog. So what I want you to think about though is what we just did. That strong pull of the tailbone to take you forward and to hold the weight. And that's the motivation, just like it is in the little movement that we did from the, which is how we're from this extended child through the table to the down dog. All right, so fingers nice and wide. And then we're gonna go into that plank. We've been doing planks in Sphinx posture. So in Sphinx posture planks, elbows are right underneath the shoulders. Now we have to get the hands underneath your shoulders. So that means that the wrist has to be bent at a 90, or maybe a little bit more if you're going to push forward a bit. If your arms can't take this, then you go right into the Sphinx plank here. That's why I do those first. They're not necessarily easier. They're easier on your wrist because your wrist isn't involved. So anytime you can just plop down on the elbows and then just keep going with me. All right, so we're sitting back, squashing into the hips. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Pull the tailbone up. Feel that energy going up into your spine. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push back, down dog. Now, knees can be soft or knees can be straight. Keep feeling that extension through the armpit. And then before we do it, we're going to do a little bit of kind of a shrug, right? We did these last week. Keep the knees soft for this. Now push away from your arms, feel the space. And then let the shoulders slide towards the waist. Push the open shoulder joint shoulders to your ears. That's what I should have said the first time. And then shoulder blades towards your waist. Push. Now take an inhale here. Inhale, shoulder blades back. How many times have you heard that? Exhale, shoulders to your ears. Again, inhale, shoulder blades back. Exhale to the ears. Inhale, exhale. Couple more. Feel them move down, push away. Inhale, exhale. Feel that reach. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come on down. And one more time, let the wrists rotate. I'm all about shoulder position, right? So when we're in those down dogs, you don't just want to collapse, you don't want to collapse into the shoulder joint. You don't want to just let the shoulder blades go to the waist and then feel like you're just relaxing there. You need to feel the reach of the arm to give space into the joint. Now, coming into a table, I want you to let your belly go and let your shoulders go. So I'm here. I call this the old horse position. I just made that up. I don't think it's in any yoga books. But this is the same position that we use in Sphinx. All right, chest down. We're not thinking about our pelvis at all here. Just try to stay relaxed through the lower body. Now push. Feel your shoulders, shoulder blades move to the side and the spine go to the ceiling. We've done this 100 times already. Inhale. Exhale down and then inhale. Push up. Feel your ribs go to the ceiling. And down. And inhale up and down. Push up and down. Push up and down. A couple more. Push up, shoulder blades slide to the side. When you go down, the shoulder blades kind of squeeze together. Up, down, up, down, up, and stay. So here we have a completely different shoulder engagement. You're pushing, you have your serratus involved, you have your shoulder involved, and you can feel the work in the shoulder joint. Now, as you get tired, what happens is the spine starts sinking down. You know, and sometimes people's shoulder blades just wing up out of their back. Mine aren't going to do that. But my chest is dropped, and I can feel the medial edges of the shoulder blades getting closer to my spine. So this is the position that we don't want. This is the position that we do want. So when we're working this plank, make sure that if for some reason you can't hold this position and you feel yourself crumbling, you need to put your knees down, all right? So sit back, wiggle the wrists. I know it's a lot on the wrist today. This is our last thing on the wrist. But, you know, the wrist is connective tissue, right? Just all these tendons going through this space. The muscles are up here. Of course, there's muscles in the hand, right? But we have to work slowly. And this is 4 weeks. We've worked 4 weeks, 4 days a week, before we finally got into this plank position. It's because it's a lot of work, and we want to make sure that we provide a submaximal stress so we can adjust to this and not hurt ourselves. All right, so putting that all together, coming back, inhale, exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull up, tuck your toes, exhale, sit bones back, inhale, press yourself back to this down dog. Now we're going to pull our knees together, push away from your hands so you feel that space in the shoulder, press your heels down, pull your quads up. Now we're going to take our tailbone and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing. You're going to take your tailbone, pull it into your chest, and then just out you go. Are your shoulders over your hands? Is your stomach up? Is your spine pushing to the ceiling? Now inhale, lift the sit bones, pull yourself back. A couple more breaths. If you have to adjust your hands forward or back, do that. We're going to do one more just for position. So take a big inhale, exhale, tuck the tailbone, feel that tailbone come into your chest. Low back is long. All those muscles in the front, the abdominals are pulling up. Your shoulders are over your hands. Inhale, push back. Couple breaths, knees can be soft. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale, exhale, pull the tailbone, out you go. This time right back. Inhale, back. Exhale, pull the tailbone. Inhale, back. One more. Exhale, pull the tailbone. Inhale, back. And come on down. Sitting. Let the wrists rest, because for sure, you can feel that work of them. Just a couple of breaths. All right, reach your hands behind you and grab a hold, interlace, pull the shoulders open, lift your chest, come up onto your knees if you want to. You can stay there. I like this stretch better up here. Drop your chin, tailbones down, and we're just going to inhale, chest forward, blades back. Exhale, tailbone down. Inhale, push. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Inhale. Release. And come back down to sitting. Breathe into your chest. So we're going to grab our block. You can do this on your bolster if you want, or a pillow. What we're going to do is just have a little passive stretch in the chest and then go back to what we just did. So if you're really tight, then when we get to the stretch we just did, it might be something that you can't even really feel your muscles working in. So others will have no problems. But for the people that are tight there, and then actually just for everybody, because this is really a good chest opener, right? Put your block or your bolster underneath your shoulders. And then just relax back. My head touches the floor. You can keep your knees bent. And then the first part of this, on the inhales, push your pelvis towards your thighs a little bit. And then on the exhale, pull your sacrum down towards the ground. I'm only talking an inch or so. This is kind of from my therapeutic class, but as you pull your pelvis, your sacrum down towards the ground, you're getting a stretch from the lower edge of that block towards the lumbars, right? I'm just repeating this. And your head will probably come off the ground. So I'm kind of not going on my breath pattern. I'm just trying to show you if you're watching that action. And if you're not watching, then good. Inhale, just push your belly towards your thighs. And then exhale, just easy pull. So what happens here after about a minute is that you really start adjusting to this stretch. Now take your hands down, grab a hold of your mat, and pull with your elbows, trying to feel your shoulder blades pull into the block. And what happens, inhale and do that, is your sternum reaches towards your face. This is the same action that we were doing just a second ago, or maybe 10 seconds ago, maybe it's a minute ago, in the stand or the kneeling chest stretch. So same thing, but we're going to be able to hold it a little longer. Just let your chest adjust. And release that. Just let everything go there. And then roll off to your right. Curl a little bit. Breathe into your upper back. And then come on up. Back to here. One more time on this stretch. So take your hands behind, interlace, stretch them to straight, come up onto your knees, tailbone down. Yep, makes a big difference. Now inhale, push your chest forward and up. Exhale, tailbone down. Inhale, forward and up. Look up. Exhale, high corner of the room. Keep your head on your spine, so don't drop it back. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale. Feel the shoulder blades going into the back. Exhale, pull the stomach. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release. And coming down. Just big breaths into the chest. All right. Coming on to our bellies. First, I'm going to need a drink. So we're going to see where our cobra is today. So we're going to start with just a plain old cobra. I guess I'm going to make my feet go onto the carpet. And then we're going to do something super fun. All right, so come on down, hands to the ground, press your feet, pull the quads, drive the sit bones, press your pubic bone, shoulder blades down, come up, breathe. Just easy cobra. Think about going long. Think about feeling the chest and the shoulder blade connection, and then your sit bone, stomach, pushing those sit bones into the ground. One more. Release. Come up onto the elbows. Passive upper back stretch. On the fists or on the heels of your hands, relax your throat. Feel your chest open a little bit more. Relax your lower back if you can. If not, keep your tailbone reaching towards your thighs. And then breathe your chest forward. Couple more. Release your hands, pull the elbows back. Drop your head, relax your shoulders, breathe. And then coming down, today we're not going to use the bolster to push our chest forward. We're just going to see, where we are with that. Because this last stretch, and the shoulder stretch, you really want to try to feel the shoulder blades pushing into the spine and forward to try to get that upper back to work. All right, so we're going to take our hands back. Interlace, stretch them to straight, press your feet, pull your stomach, drive your sit bones, inhale, chest forward, blades back, and we go. Breathe, reach your hands towards your sit bones, and then really feel the sit bones drive into the backs of the legs. Make your low back as long as you can. Couple more. Last one. Release. This time, turn your head to your favorite side profile. Let go and breathe into your waist. Just let the belly push into the ground. And let your pelvis go. Excuse me. Take your head to the other side. Breathe. Come back to center. Come up onto your elbows. And just kind of assess that low back. Reach your chest forward. So things are feeling, I'm feeling like I have a lot more mobility, but, I can't get very high. There's a couple components involved in that. So, this Cobra series, if you can't keep your feet on the ground, it's because you don't have enough push into the pelvis to anchor you. If you don't have enough push into the pelvis, it means that you can't keep that posterior rotation. That's a combination of your glutes and your stomach. And then the lift, is that's the whole back line, from the back neck, through the erectors, through the glutes, down through the hamstring, through your calf to your feet. That whole back line. So what we're going to do today is we're going to add an exercise that works that whole back line. And it pretty much is just an exercise. Sometimes you need to do these to just kind of assess if maybe, it's not successful just because you're not strong enough in one component. So we're going to work this back line. So what you're going to need is something to put your feet underneath. Unless you have somebody in the house that can stand on your feet, because that's what we do in the studio. We extend our ankles, point our feet, and then someone can just stand on your feet or hold your ankles down. But it works really well to be able to put your feet underneath a couch. I could put my feet underneath the railing of my stairs, but I'm going to use my couch. So what we're going to do is just move to something. And then we're going to tie our legs together just so that we can work that outside angle, the outside line of the leg as well as the inside line. So right above the knees, knees are together. You can still almost get a fist in. You don't want it, when we lay out, it'll open. All right, so I'm going to go over here to my couch. I'm going to slide, I'm going to put my feet underneath my couch. And I'm going to lay out on my stomach. And then I'm going to push out on my straps. So you're just laying here, let's just get started. You're going to push out on the straps. And you feel the legs go to the side and you feel a change in your hip. Your feet are underneath here. Now what I want you to do is just take the bottoms of your feet or your heels, whatever. I can't fit my heels in, so I have to keep my feet extended. And then push your feet up into the couch, right? So when you do that, you feel your glutes, you feel your hamstrings, you feel your calf. If you're pushing out on the strap at the same time, you're feeling the outside edge of the thigh, right? All right, let that go. But here's the most important part. When we do this, you have to be able to feel your tailbone and your sit bones driving into the backs of your legs, or using the other image, you got to take your tailbone and pull it through the legs to your chest. All this is to keep that low back supported. I'm having a hard time looking at the camera, so I'm not going to do it. All right, so let's just come down here. My hands are underneath my chest just because we're trying to test this out. Push out on the strap. Push up into the couch. All right. Now take your sit bones, push them into the backs of your legs, squeeze your glutes, push out. Now as you're pushing out, you should be able to feel anchoring and a long back, low back, right? It's more of a stretch. Push. Now move your hands back here. And we're just holding ourselves up. Keep taking the sit bones down and into the backs of your legs. Keep pushing out on the strap. Couple more breaths here. Couple more. And then don't release. Put your elbows down. Now release. So wasn't that fun? So what we're doing is we're just exercising the glutes, the hamstrings, and that posterior rotation of the pelvis. Why we have our elbows here right now is because with our chest lifted, for those of you that have really tight hip flexors, you can feel the hip flexors pull into your low back. We've been working kind of with that the whole time. Hopefully after all the stretches that we've done, you're not feeling that too badly. But if we went up higher, you might feel that pull. So today we're just going to work the glutes into that low back. Our chest is out. It's a lot of work because that line is lifting the whole way to the torso. This round we're going to reach our hands back towards our thighs to try to get that shoulder blade to pull into the back and possibly give us a little bit more extension in the upper back. All right, so we're coming, actually come down just to here. So I'm kind of laying on my arms and start the same. Press out on the strap, push your feet into the bottoms of the couch, squeeze your butt, push your pelvis into that posterior rotation. Sit bones down, top of the sacrum towards the ceiling. Now pull your tailbone towards your chest and then move your arms, right? Now, when you inhale, press your arms back. If that's too much, put a little bit of weight in your hands and just work there. We're going to hold it. Breathe. Every time you inhale, chest forward, shoulders back, but then exhale, tuck, squeeze, rotate your pelvis, work your legs. Going up and down a little bit. Keep going. Almost. 3 more breaths. And release this. Just lay down. And then we're going to push up. Unsnap yourself. Now my couch is right there. So I'm going to tuck my toes under. And I'm going to just pull myself right up onto my couch. And then I'm going to hang forward. And just let my back stretch the other way. Just easy. Put your elbows on your thighs. Flatten your back out. Actually, you know, your low back probably feels pretty good in this position. The stretching forward probably felt good, but there's a lot of components there. Now we're gonna just go into a forward bend. So knees together, feet together. Make sure that your pelvis is over your feet. And then put your elbows down on your couch. Put your head down. Now feel your sit bones lift. Your knees are pulling up. So your quads are lifted. Your weight is kind of balanced between your elbows and your feet. I put my head down on my couch. Now just focus on your hamstrings a minute. Because what we just did was a lot of hamstring work. So when you inhale, try to feel your sit bones go up. If you can't, bend your knees. And then try to just feel like you're reaching to the back with your sit bones. And then what you feel there is you feel your pelvis fold into your thighs, right? And then straighten your knees again, and then just try to keep that feeling. For those of you that have really long hamstrings, you can drop your head off of your couch. But mainly we want to feel like we're supported by the couch, all right, so that we can let go of things a little bit more. And I'm really hoping that you can feel the hamstrings let go, and then the connection of that hamstring into the glute, or into the glute into the back of the leg, so that whole line. To come up, hands, extend your spine, walk forward, come back to sitting. I'm just gonna need a drink. feet. About I don't know, one of your own feet apart. We're going to slide off of the couch into a squat. So just let the knees and hips go. Really relaxing in the knees. Couple more breaths here, that's all. Now lean back. Sorry. And then, actually, that's not right. Just come up and then sit on your shins. Walk your shins a little forward of your couch. And then just lean back on your couch. All right? So, as you start leaning back, your quads start stretching. If you have really nice long quads, open your heels into a hero and go into reclining hero. For those of us that, are struggling with that, just put your hands behind your head, tuck your chin, and we're going to get more into this week. But what I want you to do is just take your sit bones, push them up to the ceiling, and release down. And when you do that, you feel quad stretch a little bit more, and release. Quad stretch a little bit more, and release. Quad stretch a little bit more, and release. Keep doing that until you feel like you can lay yourself back on your couch. And if you're already in that reclining hero, just stay there. For people that are laying on the couch, tuck your tailbone and keep that sit bone line going into your knees to just keep your low back kind of long. This is pretty much the same kind of work we did to start this whole course, laying on our backs in the bridge. Couple more breaths. Now, coming up, tuck your chin, use your hands if you need. Feel your rib cage pull, or take your elbows here and push yourself up. Nice and slow. Come all the way forward. Tuck your toes. Press back to a down dog. Just let the knees go. Sit bones up. Come on down to sitting. All right. So, we'll be doing a little bit of that this week to really feel that back line get stronger. Hopefully, I find this kind of work pretty fun. All right. And right now, my low back feels really good. So it's not just about getting stronger, it's really about positioning and feeling all of that length. All right, that's all I have for you today. Enjoy the snow. Namaste, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.